SWTOR. The Jedi Exile. The woman who walked away from the Force and survived. She defeated Darth Treya, destroyed the Sith Triumvirate, and saved the Jedi Order from extinction. But her story ended in tragedy. She followed Revan to the unknown regions, confronted the Sith Emperor, and died. Her life force consumed to empower a monster. But what if she had survived? What if the exile, the wound in the Force, had faced Vitiate and won? Welcome to the timeline, where Meetra Surik becomes the galaxy's last hope against the Sith Emperor. Meetra Surik was not a typical Jedi. During the Mandalorian Wars, she followed Revan into battle. And at Malachor V, she made a choice that defined her forever. To survive the mass shadow generator's devastation, she severed her connection to the Force. Deliberately, completely, utterly. She became a wound in the Force, a living absence where the Force should be. This made her unique. She could not be sensed by other Force users. She could not be manipulated through the Force. And most importantly, she could sever the connections of others, cutting them off from the Force just as she had cut herself. This was her power. And in this timeline, it becomes Vitiate's weakness. In the original timeline, Meetra Surik followed Revan to the unknown regions to stop the Sith threat that Revan had discovered. They found the Sith Empire, not the remnants that the Republic knew, but a vast hidden civilization ruled by the Sith Emperor Vitiate. Revan was captured. Meetra, along with her ally Lord Scourge, attempted to rescue him and kill Vitiate, but Lord Scourge betrayed them. He saw a vision of the future where Vitiate would be defeated, but not by them. To ensure that future, Scourge killed Meetra Surik, using her life force to fuel his own power. Meetra died believing she had failed. But in this timeline, Scourge hesitates, and that hesitation changes everything. In this timeline, Lord Scourge does not strike. Perhaps his vision is less clear. Perhaps Meetra senses his betrayal before he acts, her unique nature warning her of danger. Or perhaps in this moment, Scourge simply chooses a different path. Whatever the reason, Meetra Surik survives the confrontation with Vitiate. She escapes with Revan, wounded, weakened, but alive. And in the years that follow, while Revan is imprisoned and the galaxy believes him dead, Meetra does something no one expects. She trains. She studies the Sith Emperor, and she prepares for a rematch that will decide the fate of the galaxy. Meetra Surik does not return to the Republic immediately. She knows that the Sith Empire is watching, waiting, preparing for the war that will consume the galaxy. Instead, she operates in the shadows. She gathers allies, smugglers, Republic soldiers, Force sensitives who share her vision. She learns everything she can about Vitiate, his rituals, his weaknesses, his obsessions, and she discovers something crucial. The Emperor's power comes from consumption, from devouring the life force of others. But Meetra Surik is a wound in the Force. She has no life force to consume. She is the perfect counter to everything Vitiate is. Meetra Surik's plan is not to fight Vitiate with Force powers. She knows she cannot match his raw energy. Instead, she plans to do to him what she did to herself, sever his connection to the Force entirely. If Vitiate cannot feed on the Force, cannot draw power from others, cannot sustain himself through dark side rituals, he becomes merely a man, an ancient, powerful man, but a man nonetheless. Meetra spends years preparing this ritual, studying ancient texts from both Jedi and Sith sources, seeking the knowledge that will let her turn the Emperor's greatest strength into his greatest weakness. The Great Galactic War begins as it did in the original timeline. The Sith Empire strikes without warning, devastating the Republic. But this time Meetra Surik is ready. She has infiltrated the Empire's highest levels, learning their strategies, their weaknesses, their plans. When the Sith fleet strikes at Coruscant, Meetra is already there. She does not defend a Jedi temple. She does not fight the Sith armies. She goes directly to Vitiate's hidden sanctuary, using the chaos of war as cover. And there, in the heart of the Sith Empire, she confronts the Emperor not as a warrior, but as a wound, an absence that cannot be filled. The confrontation between Meetra Surik and Vitiate is unlike any battle in galactic history. Vitiate throws everything he has at her. Dark side lightning, Force drain, telekinetic devastation, Sith sorcery that has killed thousands. But Meetra does not fight back with the Force. She simply absorbs, negates, nullifies. Every attack that relies on the Force passes through her like wind through a void. And slowly, as the battle continues, Vitiate realizes something terrifying. He is getting weaker. The Emperor, who has consumed worlds, who has lived for 1,000 years, who has become a god of the dark side, is being severed from his own power. Meetra Surik is not fighting him. She is unmaking him. When Vitiate falls, the Sith Empire does not collapse immediately, but it does begin to fracture. Without the Emperor's will holding them together, the Dark Council turns on itself. Sith lords who once bowed to Vitiate now fight for his throne. The military, loyal to the Empire, but not to any individual Sith splinters. and the Republic, battered but not broken, sees an opportunity. Meetra, Surik, does not stay to rule. She does not seek power or recognition. She simply walks away, as she always has, leaving the galaxy to heal itself. But the galaxy has been forever changed. The Sith Empire that threatened to consume everything is now just another fractured power, and the Republic has been given a second chance. Meetra, Surik's story, is one of sacrifice, survival, and the courage to walk away. She was not the strongest Force user. She was not the greatest warrior. But she was unique, a wound in the Force that became the weapon the galaxy needed. In our timeline, she died, believing she had failed. In this timeline, she succeeded beyond anyone's imagining. She proved that the Force is not the only power in the galaxy. She proved that sometimes the greatest strength is not in what you have, but in what you have given up. And she proved that even a single person, walking alone, can change the course of history. Thank you for watching. This has been SWTOR Studio. Subscribe for more dark timelines from the Old Republic era.